So far on Total Revs, we've featured a whole host of superb cars. However, I've noticed one pattern emerge. They're all bloody European. So I've spiced up the formula just a little bit to source something special all the way from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Let me introduce you to my favourite JDM car, the Honda Integra Type-R. Quite frankly, this is the best looking Honda produced in the early 2000s. Its design is simple, stylish, and most importantly, sporty. When it's parked at the side of the road, it doesn't beg for attention, but it's a car that you can't help but look twice at. This championship white is definitely the colour of choice for this car, and with those gold aftermarket alloys, they really make the car pop. They make all the difference. It's the same story in the interior. The significant contrast really does this car justice. Inside, we're met with striking red absolutely everywhere. These Recaro seats, red. The door panels, red. The gear stick gaiter, red. The carpets, red. The carpets, whilst we're on the carpets, have their own Type-R badge. And then the centre console, it's plain. The person buying this car, let's face it, they're not going to be worried about the gizmos and gadgets they've got inside. It's going to be that thing under the bonnet. I'd like to take a minute out of the review just to clarify, for those people who aren't quite sure, the meaning of JDM. Okay? First of all, JDM is an abbreviation for Japanese Domestic Market, which essentially refers to all vehicles built in Japan to be sold in Japan because they meet Japanese road regulations. Don't get confused though, there is a misconception out there that all Japanese cars that we see on the roads, especially here in the UK, are JDM. If we see a Honda Civic or a Nissan 370Z driving around here, it's wrong to just assume they are JDM cars just because they're Japanese. Actually, they will have been built in the UK to meet UK road regulations, intended to be sold in the UK. So they are not JDM cars. Now, granted, there is a small minority of these cars that have been imported from Japan to the UK by enthusiasts, but they are few and far between. There is a telltale sign though. You'll be looking for the square number plate. That's the big giveaway. Although the Integra Type-R wasn't entirely exclusive to Japan, being built and released in Australia and sold in the US as the Acura RSX, this particular model is a JDM car. It was built to tackle the twists and turns of a Japanese mountain pass or race around the demanding Suzuka circuit just down the road from the Honda factory. Fortunately, we don't have any of those here. We have an industrial estate, so we'll make do. This is a driver's car. It's here to remind you that you're in control of your own fate. The car doesn't give two hoots about you, but it will look after you if you look after it. Honda Integra Type-R has the K20 engine, which is a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine that pushes up to 220 brake horsepower, 158 foot-pound of torque to reach a top speed of 150 miles an hour and 60 in just 6.5 seconds, which is pretty damn impressive. Gear shifts are short, so that adds to the car's overall performance and the excitement of driving this car. It makes it feel that much better and that much sportier. So at speed, the handling in this car is instantaneous. However, at lower speeds, it's a bit sluggish and there is quite a large dead zone in the steering wheel, so you've got quite a lot of play there before it actually decides to bite and turn. So Hondas are notorious for having bulletproof engines, and they are capable of taking a lot of abuse. People rev these things until their eardrums start to bleed, or they end up in a hedge. If you do find yourself going a little bit too fast or intimidated
by this car's VTEC and the instantaneous power, then rest assured the big Brembo brakes will slow you down. Just bear in mind, you may have to pull your passenger's teeth out of the dashboard. So one of the first things you notice when you open up the bonnet on the Integra are these letters, VTEC, a revolutionary technology developed by Honda to squeeze every single horsepower out of the engine. And it proved more efficient than a turbocharger, so it became very popular. In 2001, this Integra was among the first cars to feature what Honda would call i-vtec, an intelligent upgrade that allowed the engine to use multiple camshafts to maximise the flow of air into the engine across the entire rev range. This allowed the Integra to burn fuel far more efficiently, resulting in an incredibly nippy car. It's been such a privilege to be able to drive this car. I mean, I used to drive this car all the time in Gran Turismo 4 and every other racing game since, and ever since then I've wanted to experience one in real life. And today one of my boyhood dreams has come true, and I'm behind the wheel of an Integra Type-R right now. But, like all good things, they must come to an end. So, it's back off to the land of sumo and sushi with this one. Total Revs.
I was in the way when I...
Yes.
Breathe.
Nice, mate. I've literally got him perfectly sounding. Then you open your mouth and it burns my ears, mate.
Right, are we alright? Into the engine.
That went completely wrong. It's him driving like a my arse. Why is he keeps flashing me to go faster? He's such a Yeah, you are! Drive like a normal human being. Then you won't scuff your wing mirrors and have tyres. Right, anyway.